Hello everyone! We finished up the unique storylines for both the Alliance and the Horde within Shadowmoon Valley and Frostfire Ridge. From this point on, the storyline becomes pretty mirrored for both factions. You will see a couple of different NPCs, a couple of minor differences, but overall it's the same storyline. I hope you all had a great new year. Let's begin 2015 with the story of Gorgrond. The Alliance, after securing Shadowmoon Valley, they sent a small strike force into Gorgrond because Rangari reports suggest that the area, it might hold ancient secrets or primal knowledge that we might be able to use against the Iron Horde. The Horde, they helped out the Frostwolf clan with securing Frostfire Ridge, and they sent a small strike force to launch a counterattack against the Iron Horde. Both factions, they share a common goal, taking the battle to the Iron Horde. And the Frostwolf clan, they make contact with the Laughing Skull clan, since this clan knows the zone better than anyone.
Laughing Skull! Durotan, we must move on before we are discovered.
They may be mad, but they are the only orc clan familiar with this savage land. We may need to rely upon their knowledge.
Husband, please reconsider. No good can come of this.
We're sent in first to make contact with the Laughing Skull clan in their village of Deadgrin. This clan is home to some of the craziest orcs you'll ever find, and although their loyalty is questionable, their skill and audacity are unequaled. They had to find a way to survive in the savage land of Gorgrond, and they take pride in their clan's identity. This is why they refused to join the Iron Horde, and now they face the same enemy as the Frostwolf clan. In the village, we find out that the Laughing Skull clan is under attack by Tok the Earthrender and several of his Goron. The village is lost, so we're sent to collect some of the Mask of the Fallen, and we take revenge upon the creatures that dare to attack.
The mighty Durotan descends from his mountain without an army. It would seem you have grown tired of living.
I have come to hunt the Iron Horde. I could destroy what remains of your ruined village, or perhaps we could assist one another.
There's clearly no love between the two clans, but they do have a common enemy, so for now the Laughing Skull and the Frostwolf clan will work together. Durotan receives a flare and a note from the garrison, and it explains that Penny Clobberbottom is ready to spring in action. After blowing up some of the rocks, we clear the area and we get it ready for a Garrison Outpost. At this point you can choose between the Lumberyard or the Fight Club, and the choice you make will change the area in which you'll quest and the storyline that you'll follow. On the Horde side, I picked the Lumberyard, which means we'll go into the jungle area of Gorgrond and find out more about the Botany and all these plant creatures. Those of you that quested through this area, you might have noticed that there's a big difference between the desolate rock area and the lush green area. This is because these two forces, this rock versus plant, they're fighting each other over dominance. The rock creatures, they're known as destroyers, and they want to turn all the land into desolate land, while the Botany and the Janissar and all of these, they want to turn it into jungles. For this mission, they use their enemies to infect them and turn them into mindless zombies. Now, if an enemy, if it falls, then they'll use their corpse to grow their young, and sometimes they'll even take prisoners, they'll make them nice and fat, and they'll kill them to turn them into fertilizer. Together with Kaz the Shrieker and Draka, we set out to take on the Botany, and we search for Cutter, Kaz her son. Cutter's father has already fallen to the Botany, but Cutter, he's still very much alive, so we burn the corpse of the fallen, we take out some of the infested, and we kill a few of the Botany. With that done, we return Cutter to his mother, and apparently we found a dwarven outpost, and these dwarfs, they have found an artifact. What they didn't know was that they would require the waters of Eutropus in order to properly use the artifact, so we collect the water, and we make our way to the artifact that waits for us within Moira's Bastion. The dwarves, they were foolish to dig so deep into the earth, since this attracts the attention of the Goron. The base is overrun by them, so we take them out, we collect some of the ammo for the massive dwarven cannon, and we get our hands on the artifact called the Will of the Janissar. As we pick it up, the earth starts to shake around us, and Cutter says that a Janissar has shown up to take back his artifacts. He will stay below and use the dwarven cannon against the massive beast, while we, together with Draka and Kaz, we take on EU.
Yes! Burn it! sister.
The Janissar, it's very powerful, but together we bring it down. Draka now understands the Laughing Skull clan better. They are savage because the land itself is savage, and she has grown to respect them for it. Cass, she joins us as a follower, and the artifact, it comes with us back to the base. That's the storyline on the Horde side done for now. Now on the Alliance side, we don't interact with the Laughing Skull clan, we party with Rangari.
Victory will be ours. We should have brought an army to fight the Iron Horde.
Gorgrond is no place for armies. This land swallows all who enter. We will be fortunate to even lay eyes upon the Iron Horde base.
The Rangari, they are the scouts and rangers amongst the Draenor. They learned a lot about Gorgrond from observing the land, and they even picked up a few tricks from the Laughing Skull clan, but they're under assault by the Janissar EU. Talon Dark Anvil, he tried to outrun the Janissar with his tank, but the land around him, it became hostile, and he was picked up by a wild growth. We set him free, we clear a bit of the land to make it safe for the Rangari, and we set out to build our Garrison Outposts. You get the same choice on the Alliance side as you get on the Horde side, so you can pick between either the Lumberyard or the Fight Club, and if you pick the Fight Club, you're sent out to find gladiator Akani. Reports indicate that a Draenor has been spotted to the west who matches her description, since they all believed Akani to be dead. She was one of the finest warriors they had, so she would be a great trainer for the troops at the arena, so we're sent out to see if Akani is truly alive. It turns out that Akani is indeed alive and she's not alone. She, together with Beatfaced and Kashdrakor, they've managed to escape the Stone Mall arena. They're not safe yet though, since magical pendants, it will allow the ogres to track them down and kill them in their sleep. So we're asked to collect these pendants and liberate the gladiators. On top of that, several of their friends, they're still left behind, and Kashdrakor's son is also still locked in his cage. They used his son to blackmail Kashdrakor into fighting, and now that he escaped, they'll surely make his son Naskrel fight himself. Those of you that have played Warcraft 3, you might remember Naskrel from our reality, since he was the commander giving you some of your quests, he was part of the Burning Crusade expansion, and he always remained loyal to Thrall. In this reality, he's still very young, he's still a child, and we got plenty of work ahead of us, so we kill some of the ogres, we liberate their friends and family, and we collect their pendants. With that done, it's time to take some revenge by taking out Korgal, chieftain of the Stone Mall. His weapon has the power to take over someone's mind and turn them against their allies, but our combined might brings him to his knees. Now we have a great fighting force ready to help us out in Gorgrond. Time to go deeper into the land and find out what the Iron Horde is up to. We're sent out to meet Rangari Erdani, and she's been keeping an eye on the land, and she found out that the war raging between the rocks and the plants, it's getting out of balance. One side is beginning to overwhelm the other, so we're sent down, we take out a few of the Grundlings, we burn some of the trees, and we make sure that this battle, it stays balanced. With that task done, we're told that the Iron Horde camp has been spotted, so we need to investigate. In the camp, we find a dying beast chained down to the ground, and an Iron Horde ambush, it pops up out of the ground. Naturally, they're no match for us. We liberate the dying beast, but as we do, a Grun rock thrower, it stuns us and it picks us up.
Back to the dust with you!
Rexxar shows up and he takes out the Grun with a single blow. I've done a full story on Rexxar from our reality, if you're interested, I'll link it in the description. The short version is that he's a freaking badass, he's a champion of the Horde. This Rexxar, however, is not from our reality, he doesn't know us. This one is from alternate Draenor, and by capturing his beast, the Iron Horde has made a very dangerous enemy. We're asked by Rexxar to gather some food and water for Nisha to help her heal, and at Rexxar's camp we find out that he has captured Rangari Erdani. She was looking for us, so we vouch for her, and she has a plan in mind. The Laughing Skull clan, they have found a way to travel through the Gorgrond tunnels, and we'll be able to do the same after collecting some crystals and some shells. Rexxar wants us to take out a few of the Iron Horde, and in their camp we find out that they're busy with capturing Grun and turning them into weapons. We can of course not allow the Iron Horde to have such powerful weapons against us, so we need to investigate further and find out what's going on. The items collected for Erdani, they allow us to enter the tunnels, and one of the tunnels, it leads us to Brock's excavation. At the excavation site, the Iron Horde is fighting a bunch of the Goron, and one of their dead messengers, it holds a note which explains that the Ogron have taken a squad of their men, and amongst them was Corporal Tugmar. Tugmar is in research, it might give us more information, so we're sent after them, and inside the cave we find the Corporal. The Corporal has seen some things, since the things that he says like kill and eat, torn to pieces, please kill me, it doesn't seem good. The Ogron, they are very scary creatures. The orcs in the cave, they rather kill themselves than have to face them again. So we put the Corporal out of his misery and we read his research. The research, it has some valuable information, since it says the following. This is magnificent. I have unearthed an artifact of unknown origin. Touching it instantly floods my mind with a vision of every Magnaron, Gron and the like that walk Gorgrond. What's more, I am overcome with a sense that each of these creatures are appendage to me. I have found myself able to commune with them, manipulate them, and even shape their thoughts. I am returning to the Foundry to inform Blackhand directly. This discovery will hasten our purging of Draenor, and many more worlds to come. Rexar explains that ancient legends, they speak of such artifacts crafted by the world builders to keep their creatures in check. Throughout questing in Draenor, we find more hints here and there about these so-called world builders. In truth, the Titans, they also visited Draenor and they helped shape the world. This artifact can apparently directly control and manipulate the stone creatures of Gorgrond, so they were most likely created by the Titans to help with their mission. We'll get more into this later on. First we need to get our hands on the artifacts. Together with Rexar, Erdani and Nisha, we fly out to Gromkar Gulch and we take on Captain Brak.
The object we seek is here. Get them! I've always enjoyed killing Gron. Nisha, get her down here! Well done. The artifact is yours to take.
Captain Brak is defeated, and the artifact known as the Heart of Magnaron is in our possession. Time to use this incredible power and take on the Iron Horde at the Iron Approach.
Ha! There it is. There's my artifact. How foolish of me to trust Brak with something so valuable. It's a shame that you're too late to stop me. Surrender the artifact, and I will allow you to escape with your lives.
We will never surrender to you! Champion, now is the time. Use the artifact!
We will never surrender to you. Champion, now is the time. Use the artifact.
Both Garrison Outposts, so regardless of what choice you make, they lead to the same conclusion, they lead to this final battle at the Iron Approach, but the artifact is different. With the Lumberyard, you'll have an Earth Twister fighting with you, while the Arena, it gives you an Earth Shaker. This to me suggests that both artifacts, they come from the same origin, so both of them were created by the Titans, and both the Janissar and the Magnaron, they were created to help shape the land. Whatever the case, we take on Commander Gar and the Iron Horde, and we take care of business. We even take out Guk, son of Gruul, but the commander figures that if he can't have the artifacts, then no one will have the artifacts.
No! I will die before I let you take what is mine. You will not win this war!
The artifact! What has he done? We must restore it! We must get it to safety!
See what weapons I have in my arsenal!
Gar destroys the artifact, but he's unable to defeat us, and we've dealt a massive blow against the Iron Horde.
It is over. Your defenses are shattered. We have won this battle, but without the artifact, we have far to go.
Let us rally back at your garrison, Commander. We must plan our next course of attack.
That's the main story of Gorgrond done. Time to take our new allies and resume the battle in Talador. There are many more side quests to be found in Gorgrond. You have like the Red Mushroom area that takes over people their minds, or the Fallen Janissar that needs to be released, but this is the major storyline. I've mentioned this many times before, but to me Gorgrond still feels a little bit disconnected from the overall storyline, and it's possible that they made some changes during development. Originally they planned to have a massive train track go through the area to supply the Iron Horde with weapons and whatnot, and we still see something left over from this in the Grimdrill Depot. I wonder if they had more story planned with that. The reason why they didn't put it in is because they had to change the layout of the land to fit in the raids and the dungeons, so you gotta wonder if they had something else in mind. Regardless of that though, the last thing that I want to talk about in this video is the connection between the Titans and Gorgrond. The two artifacts that we collect both give us control over the creatures of the land, so my interpretation is that one side was created to shape the land, while the other side was created to bring life to the planet. They did a similar thing back on Azeroth with the creation of giants, for example, with the creation of the Urvan, and it seems like that at least for the Breakers, these rock creatures, that over the years they have evolved. It started out with the oldest of them, the original ones. They were known as Colossals. Horde players have seen the skeletal remains of these creatures in Frostfire Ridge, and generations ago, the Thunderlord clan, they used to hunt the Colossi, and now they use the remains as their homes. It is said that the land of Gorgrond itself, it was formed out of a colossal that fell, so you can imagine how big these creatures used to be. Now the Magnaron, they are directly descendants from the Colossals, and for example Droth the Ruiner, the world boss in Gorgrond, he is one of those Magnaron. The Grunn are descendants from Magnaron, and most of you will remember the boss Gruul the Dragon Killer from the Burning Crusade. He is one of the Grunn. In Warlords of Draenor, Gruul and several of the other Grunn, they have been enslaved to fight for the Iron Horde, and Gruul himself will become a boss in the Blackrock Foundry. Then there are the Ogron that fall in the same lineage. These creatures, they're not very intelligent, but they will follow orders and they are still very powerful and very dangerous. Those are the rock creatures and their evolutions. Now you also have hints here and there about the Goron and the Ogres, but I couldn't find a simple source stating that they were actually descendants. Now the Janissar, they are demigods and they revert by the Botani, and it's very likely that they also evolved. They probably evolved into the lesser creatures that we see all the way down to the Potling Nibblers, but I couldn't find a source to directly confirm this. Now on our planet, on our reality, the evolution was also there, but it was usually stimulated by the old gods. For example, the Urvan, they were hit by the Curse of Flesh, which eventually turned them into dwarves, so I wonder if we'll see a similar thing on Draenor, a similar source behind this, or perhaps it was just a natural course of evolution. I personally hope that we'll get an expansion without old gods for once, but time will tell. We have the Titanic influences, perhaps we'll see the old gods as well. For now though, I am going to end this video, but it's very likely that we'll return to Gorgrond for some more storytelling, since we still have the Garrison campaign coming up, and of course we have the Blackrock Foundry. That still needs to unlock though, so I can't wait to see where the story is going to go. I can't see if we'll see more Titanic influences, to see more of this evolution chain. I can't wait for the Ogre Empire to open up. There's still so many beautiful stories, and I hope we'll see it all. For now, thank you very much for watching everyone. The first video of 2015 is done, and something new this year, something that I'm opening up. If you have requests or suggestions for future lore videos, you can let me know in the comments down below. I don't promise anything, I can't guarantee anything, but I will keep my eye out, and perhaps your suggestion will be used for the next video. Have a great day everyone, subscribe if you like my videos, and until next time guys, see ya!
Our bond is iron, our will unbreakable. Who will stand against us?